Need to talk about Jude Bellingham. And the reason is that some stuff has come out in Germany, which is... listen, it's on a Borussia Dortmund kind of news blog site, okay? So, listen, it might just be blown up out of all proportion, but it says the following, that apparently the Borussia Dortmund dressing room's glad Jude Bellingham is gone. It's beneficial for the climate within the dressing room. A mood had built up against Jude Bellingham. This is all the allegations from this news blog, by the way, on social media. It says 3 points massively disturbed a part of the team. One of the biggest issues is that Bellingham often waited after games for the team to thank the fans for their support. Only then did he make his way to the stands to receive applause on his own. It's said to have started in the 2021-22 season because Bellingham was a little bit jealous of Haaland outranking him with the fans, so Bellingham went round on his own. It's also said that he wants to be the centre of attention, that his teammates are only secondary. The words Bellingham used towards the team did not suit some of the players. This is where it all gets a little bit weird and you start thinking, really? This bit here. So some of those words came out when Bellingham insulted Nico Schulz, teammate, during the match against Rangers. They went out of Europe to Rangers not last season, season before. Apparently this continued last season as well, especially during training or at half-time in the dressing room. He's said to have been abusive towards his teammates. Last season, Bellingham was third captain, also on the team council, but he rarely did justice to the role. I'm thinking, well, why was he appointed to those and why did he stay on them if he rarely did justice to the role? I'll kind of leave it there because that's enough to be going along with, right? But there's a whole thread of allegations being made, okay? And this is in Bild, the German newspaper, but it's being reported by this news blog, Dortmund news blog. The one that puzzled me is you're Dortmund and you're going out of Europe at the hands of Glasgow Rangers and you expect players to be nice to each other. So somebody like Nico Schulz or another teammate has reported it and then it's leaked out, is upset that Jude Bellingham is setting standards for some of his teammates. I mean, I can't quite get my head around what's being said here. You've got a player who's got an ego, and that's meant to be a bad thing. All players have to have an ego. You've got a player who's digging others out who aren't doing their jobs properly. I don't see anything wrong with that. Dressing rooms aren't always calm, nice places, are they?
No, they're not. I mean, look, clearly someone has an agenda against Jude Bellingham, and I have no idea how much this is true or not. Now, let's look at the negative part of that. You can have a go at a player, but if you continue that in training, then that's wrong. So if that happened, that's wrong. But no idea whether it did happen. You don't get on with everybody in the dressing room. So you might be having some words or whatever, but you still... I look at him and I just think to myself, probably a lot of the senior pros didn't like the fact that he was having a go at them. Because there is a pecking order, there is a respect, there is a seniority where you kind of like, I'm a senior pro, don't have a go at me. But if someone's actually right, funny enough, I was playing at a charity golf day yesterday. I was playing with Rob Lee and Martin Allen. I had this conversation yesterday where I had a bit of a go at someone when I was young, and I was right, but I was wrong to have a go on the pitch, in my opinion, because I think there is a kind of a seniority thing. And there was a bit of an altercation at half-time. I think, personally, if it's done in the right way, I don't care whether you're senior pro or not, if the younger pro and he's a proper player, he knows. He's a world-class player in the making. We likened him earlier, or I likened him earlier to sort of a Brian Robson. We'll see whether he can fulfil his potential and be as good as Brian Robson, who I think is one of England's greatest ever players that we produced. But he just, almost from a 13, 14-year-old, looked like, follow this guy. He's a leader. He's our future captain for England. Of that, there's no doubt. And whether he's a senior pro, whether he's a young pro or not, the senior pros have to deal with that. And I think, even if half of this is true, it's more of a jealousy thing. That a younger pro who's come in from England and has now gone off to Real Madrid has almost used Dortmund as a stepping stone in a way. Not that he did intentionally, but it's the way his career's gone. And he's having a go at them. And you're right about the standards. And I think he's going to end up being one of Real Madrid's best players and hopefully one of our greatest ever players as well.
Kev Hatchard has got a little bit more on this. What do you know, Kev?
Yeah, just that I spoke to people at Dortmund when he was there, and the vibe I always got was that he was such a forceful personality that there were some people, not many people, but some people that didn't take kindly to that because they weren't used to being spoken in that way. But it's because he's a winner. It's because he's determined. He captained the team at 19. So it shows you the respect that he had. If he was this horrendous guy that everybody hated, there's no way they'd give him the armband. So this is really overblown. There were always murmurs about that kind of thing. But him digging out Nico Schulz on the pitch, it did happen. I saw it happen. But Nico Schulz was terrible and deserved to be dug out because he was playing really poorly. So I don't have a massive problem with it. And in the fullness of time, I think he'll be remembered as a really good player for Dortmund. I think this is just column inches in the tabloids. I don't think it's a big deal.
Kev, thanks very much. I've got to follow you up on your story, Scott. So you said after you dug a more senior player out on the pitch, there was an altercation at half time. How hard did he punch you?
He did throw a punch.
Right. And did it connect?
From behind.
Oh. Oh, that's not right. Oh, that's not good at all. Okay.
Yeah. And then it was stopped. He apologised afterwards.
Oh, that's all right then.
One of the others. But actually, I genuinely took it as if, like, do you know what? I was right, but I've got to do it in a certain way. I'm a young lad who's come into the team. Things are going well for me, but still, I'm even now. I genuinely think, and there's not many pros older than me, but I honestly think there should be a respect for your senior pros. And things should be done in a certain way. Even if a younger pro digs out a senior pro, I'm not talking about Jude Bellingham here, but it's got to be done in the right way. I remember there was a conversation about Garnacho, wasn't there? And
yeah.
A couple of seasons ago. And whether he's right or not, I genuinely believe the youngsters have to do it in a certain way. And I think, I wouldn't say I was put in my place, but I thought about it afterwards and I thought, yeah, I've got to do it the right way.